Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Otto. I got another video for you guys here today. I'm going to be showing you how to dominate in PvP with a Frost Death Knight. This is... Okay, so I'm going to try to keep this video really short. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my talents first. You might not agree with all these choices, but I've had a lot of success with them. I'm just going to go over why I chose each one really quick, and if there's anything that you think I should change or anything like that, just let me know in the comments. Go with Plague Leech simply because if I need another Obliterate or I need another Death Strike or whatever, need a little bit of health back, need a little more damage, I can just consume my Necrotic Plague and get an additional Death Rune, which is extremely useful in PvP. Next I go with Lichborn because 10% of the damage you do while Lichborn is active comes back to you as healing, which is vital for survivability, as well as making you immune to various forms of crowd control such as Charm, Fear, and Sleep. Go with Asphyxiate because it's a stun and it's a low cooldown. Runic Empowerment, I really don't have a problem with Runic Corruption or Runic Empowerment. I personally prefer not to use Blood Tap, simply because I don't want to have to click it. I'd rather have a passive. So either one of these I'm really okay with. Right now I'm just using Runic Empowerment. For the next tier I have to go with Conversion. Extremely vital to survivability. Can't go with Death Siphon because it takes runes. Death Pact heals you for 50%, it has kind of a long cooldown, and it prevents incoming healing. So I definitely want Conversion there. For the next one, I go with Desecrated Ground, simply because it's an additional PvP trinket. I know you see Remorseless Winter a lot as a form of crowd control, but Desecrated Ground is definitely better in my opinion, because it's another PvP trinket, and you can even replace a PvP trinket with this if you wish, and that gives you a boost of damage if you want to take another trinket, like trinket with a use on it or a proc on it, instead of your Medallion of the Horde or Medallion of the Alliance. And finally, I go with Necrotic Plague simply because it spreads by itself. You don't need to use Blood Boil, and it's easier to apply. You don't have to worry about using Blood Plague and Frost Fever. You can just use Necrotic Plague. Alright, next up is the Glyphs. You can change these pretty much depending on your personal playstyle. However, I found that this Glyph of Empowerment, is absolutely vital for PvP just because it gives you additional survivability. 30% of your maximum health for using Glyph of Empowerment. I'm sorry, for using Empower Rune Weapon. Essentially, it's just an ability that you've already been using. When you use it, it heals you for 30% of your maximum health. So that's a must, in my opinion. I use this Glyph of Ice Runes simply because I use Chains of Ice a lot to slow down a ranged character and generate additional runic power to use, additional frost strikes or to use conversion or whatever. Just more runic power the better, and that is the same reason why I choose Glyph of Runic Power, because whenever you're struck by a movement and parry effect, you generate 2 runic power every second for 5 seconds. So that's just even more runic power so that you can use frost strike or conversion. Because, warrior hamstrings you, whatever, you're generating runic power. There's another thing that I want to point out real quick. I usually fight in Frost Presence because you take reduced crowd control effects and your runic regeneration is increased. And since your runic regeneration is increased, and because Frost Strike requires less runic power, you have more runic power. You generate a lot more runic power in Frost Presence than you do in Blood Presence. And because of this, you can use Conversion more. And when you're using Conversion more, your health is coming back faster. So that's why I think really, oftentimes I feel like I'm a little more survivable in Frost Presence. Not always, but if you're getting off your full rotation, you're generating more runic power, you're doing more healing and damage, and you're harder to kill. However, obviously you're going to want to be in Blood Presence sometimes, just for the extra armor boost and stamina boost. But I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the rotation. Pretty much apply your diseases to something and use Death Strike or Obliterate, depending on if you want to do damage or healing. So if someone's fighting you, you might want to be using Death Strike to put your health back, even though it doesn't do that much damage. Killing Machine procs, you probably want to go ahead and hit Obliterate, get some big crits off. And another thing as far as runic power goes. If you want to do more damage, use Frost Strike. If you want to do more healing, use Conversion. I know that's pretty much a given, but which one you use your runic power for really does determine how much damage you do or how long you stay alive. So if someone's fighting you, you probably want to put on Conversion. If someone's fighting your arena partner or whatever, and no one's really on you right now, then you're probably going to want to use Frost Strike instead. And I believe Frost Presence reduces the runic power cost of Frost Strike. Yeah, it reduces the runic power cost of Frost Strike by 15 runic power. So that's another perk for being in Frost Presence. Alright, so that's pretty much going to sum up this tutorial, guys. If there's any other videos or any other questions, anything like that, just post it in the comments. And thank you guys so much for watching my video. I'm trying to grow my channel, trying to collaborate a little bit. So if you're a small YouTube gaming channel, or you like World of Warcraft or whatever, you know, if you want to collaborate or anything like that, I'm totally open to that, trying to grow channels and help people out. So that's it for this video, guys. Have a good one.